Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast. We are Group Pension. Thank you for joining us today. And I'm Gwen.
I'm Evelyn.
I'm Chan.
And Pao.
Hello everyone, we hope you are having a great day today.
Today we're going to have a casual conversation about something that every IPG student can relate to.
Teamwork. More specifically, we will be sharing our experience of working in groups during our first year in IPG.
That's right, when we first entered IPG, many of us thought the biggest challenge would be the assignments.
But then we realized the real challenge was actually work with different people.
Every semester we have presentation, projects, lesson plans, reports, teaching simulation, and almost all of them involve teamwork.
Some group projects are rarely enjoyable because everyone contributes equally,
While others
become unforgettable for completely different reasons.
Through today's discussion, we will talk about managing team dynamics, collaborating effectively, and why shared accountability is so important.
we will also share some funny moments, some stressful experience, and the lesson we have learned from working with different teammates.
So, if you are an IPG student,
Or anyone who ever had to work in a group,
This episode is for you.
Speaking of teamwork, can we all agree that entering IPG felt like joining a group project before we even knew everyone's name?
oh yes, orientation weeks was only a few days long, but somehow we were already expected to work together.
yes, I remember looking around and thinking, I don't even knew everyone's names yet.
Same here. We were still introducing ourselves, and suddenly the facilitator said, "Okay, discuss with your group."
My first unforgettable teamwork experience actually happened during orientation. On the last day, our class had to perform a poem together.
I remember that. We barely knew each other, but suddenly we had to prepare a performance in a very short time.
And it wasn't even choose your own teammates.
It was more like,
You, and you. Congratulations, you're a family now.
oh my god.
That's actually a good way to describe orientation.
At first, everyone had different ideas. Some wanted to make the performance serious,
Others wanted to make it more funny.
And some people just wanted to finish rehearsing as quickly as possible.
everything became so chaotic. Even 5 minutes before the performance, people were still changing the script.
Someone would suddenly say, let's change this line.
Then another person would reply, no, this version sounds better.
And before anyone could decide,
Someone else would say, actually, let's stand over here instead.
I think every rehearsal has that one person with a last minute idea.
somehow the last minute ideas always sound brilliant.
At least to the person who suggested them.
Meanwhile, everyone else was just trying to remember the latest version.
Honestly, I was not even sure which script we were performing anymore.
Same, I just follow whoever looked the most confident.
Despite all the confusion, we still managed to perform together.
We were not perfect.
But everyone supported one another.
Looking back, it's actually one of our funniest memories.
Yes, it also taught us an important lesson.
Teamwork doesn't have to be perfect anymore.
Sometimes, teamwork simply means staying calm, communicating well, and help each other even when everything feels disorganized.
Actually, group work can be really enjoyable if everyone actually does their part.
Ah, yes, the famous sentence, sorry guys, I was busy.
Busy doing what?
That's the mystery.
I think teamwork really depends on the people you're working with. Every group have different working style.
Did you know that some groups finish their work earlier before a week?
And some groups only become active the night before the deadline. Well, we all knew which group that is, right?
Yeah.
I was lucky to have a really positive experience for one assignment. My friend and I planned everything carefully from the beginning.
How did you organize the work?
First, we list all the tasks, then we decide them based on our strength.
That makes things much easier because everyone know what they have to do and depends on their responsibility.
Exactly. There was no confusion about who should do what.
So, how long did you spend working together?
Almost 7 hours.
7 hours?
Wait, like 6-7 thread?
Oops,
6,
7.
Guys, stop with the trend. Let's go get back to this. Honestly, time passed so quickly because we stay focused.
So what you were doing during the 6-7 hours?
6-7 hours?
7 hours.
Yes. We search for reliable reference, discuss our idea, check our facts, improve the slides, and practice our presentation.
That sounds exhausting.
It was, but it was worth it because everyone contributed equally.
Nobody disappear halfway through?
No.
We didn't disappear halfway through.
That's rare.
Because we trust each other and communicate throughout the process, everything went smoothly. That experience taught me that teamwork becomes much easier when every member is responsible and committed.
Unfortunately, not every teamwork experience has a happy ending. One of my friends had a video editing assignment. He's the type of student everyone calls the group alarm because he's always reminding people about deadlines and making sure the group stays on track.
I think every class has someone like that. The person who always say, guys, the deadline is coming.
Yes, the one who reminds everyone more than the lecturer does.
Exactly. In this assignment, the work was actually divided fairly. Each member only needs to edit about 7 or 8 minutes for the video.
7 or 8 minutes only? That's so manageable.
Yes, it wasn't an unreasonable amount of work. Everyone had their own part to complete. However, his partner kept delaying the task until the very last minute.
Ah yes, the famous word, don't worry, I will do it later.
And somehow, later become never.
Exactly. Even when the submission deadline was getting closer, the editing still wasn't finished yet.
I can imagine how stressful that must have been.
Yes, my friend became extremely anxious because the online submission system was about to close. There wasn't enough time left to wait for his partner to finish the work.
At that point, he probably felt trapped. He had already done his part, but when he's still affected by someone else's delay.
That's right. In the end, my friend had no choice but to explain the situation to the lecturer and submit only his part that he had completed himself.
That must have been a difficult decision because he didn't want to blame his teammate, but he also needed to protect his own work.
Yes, that's right. The most disappointing part was the result. He received a B+. Wow, the teammate who didn't complete the assignment still received an A.
Oh my gosh! That hurts even more than the deadline still.
Exactly. Because of the difference in grades, there was also a noticeable difference in GPA. My friend felt that the outcome was unfair because his effort and final result didn't really match.
I think that's one of the biggest challenges in teamwork. Sometimes your result doesn't depend only on your own effort.
It also depends on whether every team members take responsibility for their own role.
Yes, and that experience taught us an important lesson. Good teamwork isn't just about dividing the work equally.
It's also about making sure everyone is committed to completing their part.
Communication is important too. If there is a problem, teammate members should talk about it earlier instead of waiting until the last minute.
Exactly, our experience at RPG has shown us both the good and the challenging sides of teamwork. When everyone contributes, communicates, and supports one another, the results can be amazing.
But when one part of a person lacks responsibility, the whole group can be affected.
That's why communication, cooperation, and accountability are the keys to successful teamwork.
Well, talking about teamwork, I also had an experience that taught me a lot about communication and understanding in a group. During one of our tutorials, I was assigned to work on a group project with several of my classmates.
Was it a normal group assignment?
Yes, but at the same time, I was also involved as a committed member for an institutional event organized by the institute.
So you had two responsibilities at the same time?
Exactly. Because of my role in the program, I was busy almost the whole day. I could only start editing the group video, after the event has ended.
That sounds really tiring after handling an event whole day, but you still had to continue with an assignment.
Yes, but I understood that my group members were waiting for the video. So even though I was exhausted, I still tried my best to complete the editing as soon as possible.
That showed that you still care about your responsibilities in the group.
I tried my best. It wasn't easy because I had to switch between my event responsibilities and the assignment. Whenever I had free time, I continued editing until I finally finished and submitted the video to the group.
At least you complete your part and contribute to the group, right?
Yes, but after I returned to my hostel that evening, I started to feel that something was different between me and my group members.
Different in what way?
They didn't exactly say anything directly, but sometimes silent and body language can help us a lot. Their conversation feels different. They were less warm and I could feel a distance between us.
That must have been really even difficult, right? Especially when you are not even sure what went wrong to you and them.
Yes, it was. I kept questioning myself and wondering whether I had done something wrong or disappointed them. At first, I thought maybe I was just overthinking.
Sometimes we do that when we feel something has changed.
Exactly, but later something happened that made me realize it wasn't just in my head. When the next continuous assessment came, I found out that I was no longer included in the group.
Wait, they formed a new group without you?
Yes, they had already met a new group with other people. I was genuinely surprised because throughout the semester we had always worked together.
I think anyone would feel confused in that situation.
Yes, because naturally I assumed we would continue as the same team. Being left out made me reflect on what had happened. It wasn't just about the assignment anymore. I started wondering whether my effort and my situation had been properly understood or communicated within the group.
Sometimes the problem is not that someone does not care. Sometimes people just don't communicate their feeling clearly.
That's true. Looking back now, I can see the situation differently. Although it felt painful at that time, it eventually led me to my current group.
And sometimes difficult experience bring us to something better.
Exactly. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for better teammate now.
Sometimes rejection is just redirection.
Yes.
Wow, we already have a motivational speaker here.
Yes.
Speaking about misunderstanding, mine is about assignment, but it taught me something important about communication more.
What happened?
One day, I decided to finish my assignment earlier. At that time, my roommates they are not in my room, and I need to start my assignment. So I decided to find a place to my friend's room.
So you decide to find another place to work?
Yeah, Yes, since I was not sure who to ask, so I go to my friend's room to complete my assignment.
Was it because you wanted a quiet place?
Exactly. That was not a proper desk there, so I even brought my own small table along. I just want a comfortable space to focus on my assignment while waiting for my roommates to return.
That's actually sound reasonable.
I thought so too. Later, when I come back to my room, I was actually happy to see them back again. I wanted to have a normal conversation with them, but instead, the atmosphere became uncomfortable.
What's happened?
They started making sarcastic talking and asked me, "Where did you go?" I explained calmly with them. I went to my friend's room to do my assignment. Then one of them replied, "If you were just doing your assignment, why did you bring your table along? Shouldn't you put your table only in this room?"
Gosh, I can imagine how that sounds.
Honestly, in my mind, I just thinking because it's my table.
Yeah, it's your table.
But at that moment, I really felt hurt because the comment is not a job for me anymore. I felt misunderstanding and unfairly judged.
Sometimes it's not the question itself, but the way it is said that hurt us the most.
Exactly. Later, we talked things through and they apologized to me. After that, things slowly become better between us.
That's good. At least both sides were willing to communicate.
Yeah. That's the experience taught me that communication and respect is very important in any relationship. Even small communication that is misunderstanding can become a big problem if we are not able to handle it properly.
Sometimes just one sentence can hurt more than we expect.
That's why we should think carefully before we speak, especially when we are frustrated or confused.
And we should also remember, not everything needs to be assumed. Sometimes a simple conversation can clear a misunderstanding before they become conflict.
Well, actually, I have to admit something. I was once the person who caused a misunderstanding.
Uh-oh, that is so interesting to hear.
Well, I wanted to compliment my friend, but I completely chose the wrong word.
That's really so dangerous.
Yes. Instead of saying something nice, I accidentally called my friend a horse.
Oh, how is that even a compliment?
Wait. I know it sounds terrible.
Please explain yourself.
In my mind, I was thinking about a unicorn from My Little Pony, you know? Yes. My friend had glittery makeup, so I thought she looked magical and bright.
But what comes out on your mind? Horse?
Exactly. My friend didn't understand what I meant at all.
Honestly, I don't think anyone would.
I apologized sincerely afterward, guys, and thankfully, my friend accepted it.
That's a relief, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
We're still friends now. We're still friends today, although we're not as close as before. That experience taught me that good intentions are not enough.
Right, if our message isn't clear, people can easily misunderstood it.
Exactly. Choosing the right words is just as important as having good intentions.
Not every story about teamwork is stressful. Some experiences are actually very meaningful, right?
Like this one?
Yes. During one video editing assignment, I started with zero experience. Before entering IPG, I had never used animation or editing software before.
So everything was completely new.
Absolutely. I didn't even know where to begin.
Well, what did you do?
I watched online tutorials, but even basic things like cutting clips, adding transition, and syncing audio took me a few hours to learn it.
Editing always looks easier than it actually is.
That's so true. Then something even worse happened.
Let me guess. technical problems?
Yes. After editing for a long time, my laptop became extremely hot. It started lagging badly and couldn't run the software anymore.
Oh no.
I had to stop completely, and I honestly felt really anxious because I was not sure if I could finish that before the deadline or not.
Your laptop is basically say, I'm tired, boss.
I know, exactly. Luckily, one of my friends lent me her laptop so I could continue my work.
That must have been a huge relief.
Yeah, it really was. My teammates also guide me patiently whenever I got confused.
They didn't blame you for having no experience?
No, they explained everything for me step by step and helped me to solve the small problem along the way.
That's what good teammates do.
Yeah, without them, without their support, I don't think I could have finished the assignment on the time before the deadline.
Yeah, the experience really shows that teamwork isn't just about dividing tasks.
Yeah, it's about helping each other whenever someone needs support or help.
Speaking of teamwork under pressure, do you guys still remember the innovation competition we joined?
How could I forget?
We have very limited time to prepare, but somehow we still managed to finish our project.
Yes, and we even presented it confidently in front of the judge though.
Well, at least we looked confident.
Yeah.
The most nerve-wracking moments was definitely the Q&A question.
Oh yes, I remember that it was a shame for me.
One judge asked us about our data and research findings.
And our data wasn't even fully complete yet, right?
Yes,
Huh.
exactly. We all just look at each other like,
Anyone, please?
In the end, we decided to be honest with the judge, and we admitted that our project was still in development and our data was not fully completed yet.
I actually thought we would criticize us.
Surprisingly, they didn't. They laughed with us and gave us constructive feedback instead.
Yeah, that's really helped us feel more relaxed.
Looking back, it was a valuable experience. It taught me how to stay calm under pressure and present confidently even when things were not perfect.
We also learned many new technical skills while developing the app.
And the just feedback gave us clear ideas on how to improve the project in the future.
I think experiences like that remind us that teamwork doesn't always have to be perfect.
Sometimes the unexpected moments become the most memorable ones.
Exactly.
Those imperfect moments are often the ones that help us grow the most, both as individuals and as a team.
Speaking of teamwork, one of my happiest memories was during Camp Generasi Madani.
Oh, I remember you talking about the camp, right?
Yes, I was really lucky because my group members were very sporty, supportive, hardworking, and also responsible.
Some like you had the dream team.
Maybe we had very little time to prepare a performance, so we had to learn all the dance steps and also formation quickly.
Was it difficult though?
Definitely yes. At first, none of us really knew how to dance properly. We keep forgetting the steps and missing up the sequence.
I can imagine the chaos.
But no one blamed each other. Instead, we keep encouraging one another and practice the routine again and again until everyone got it right.
That's real teamwork.
Some of us even skipped the meals to practice longer.
Seriously?
Yes, luckily, a few teammates bought some food for everyone so we could continue practicing together.
That's very thoughtful.
Even though we were exhausted, everyone stayed positive and support one another, and all their hard work paid off. Our performance was selected as one of the 2 best performance of the night.
Wow!
Congratulations!
Thank you. And we were honestly shocked.
And then you got the performance again, right?
Yes, we were invited to perform again during the closing ceremony the next day.
So basically, suffering together leads to success together.
Looking back, our first year at IPG.
Yes.
Sorry guys, wasn't just about assignment or deadlines.
It was also about learning how to communicate, solve problems, and work with different personalities.
Yes, every experience taught us something valuable.
We may not always agree with each other,
But we can always choose to respect one another and move forward together.
Because teamwork is not about finding perfect teammates.
It's about becoming a better teammate yourself.
Along the way, we experience stress,
laughter,
Misunderstanding,
And even conflicts.
but every one of those experiences help us grow, not only academically but also personally.
So if you are any first year IPG student listening,
don't panic too much.
Everyone is still learning and nobody gets everything right from the beginning.
one piece of advice,
Don't disappear from the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, and please don't wait until the night before the deadline to start editing your assignments.
That's right.
Your teammates will definitely appreciate it. That's all for our podcast today.
Thank you for listening. See you in the next episode. Bye.